Happy Friday, everyone. I never thought in a million years that I will start a YouTube channel. Never consider it, never had a thought to do it. The only platform that I engaged into was TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, but I no longer have Facebook. And then something told me, not something told me, I was going through a rough period in my life in regards to my marriage. I thought my marriage was not going to make it, to the point that my husband and I was going to file for a divorce. And I thought that, I made the wrong decision, picking this guy, we're going to end up in divorce. We didn't have any children together. We just had a dog, and how it's going to turn out. And I was in a really, really, really low point in my life that I just wanted to start a YouTube channel. And I can tell you, I started it in my closet, and it's my prayer room. That's where I go and pray, and to talk to God, and tell him my problems, my issues, my insecurities, everything. And he already knows already, but he likes when we come to him and talk to him and express to him what we're going through in our daily lives, even though he already knows. So you can actually go back to my video that I actually did it in my closet, and I can be quite honest, I didn't know what the freak I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew was that I was going through a rough period in my life, and I just wanted to do a video, talk about anything into that source, if that makes sense. And I was just trying different things, with the YouTube channel, and trying to experiment. And like I said, I had no idea what I was doing, what I was saying, but all I knew was that I wanted to do something that was out of my comfort zone, because I don't like being in front of the camera. I don't even like recording. Half the time, I don't even take great photos. But I got out of my comfort zone, and I actually, did it. And that was a fear of mine, to be honest with you. That was the biggest fear, to be in front of the camera and start recording. And I did, not knowing what the freak I was doing or saying. I just recorded and talked about anything in the sun. And at to the point when I started to get confident and more engaging in front of the camera, I started to pivot and wanted to talk about things that was important to me, things that was going on in the world. I started talking about, politics, even though politics was not my thing. I never talked about it in the beginning, in my teens, in my 20s, not even in my 30s. I just didn't really engage into that until, with the whole Joe Biden and Trump, and then Kamala Harris. And then I started to engage. I started to, learn the terminology when it comes to politics and stuff like that, things that I didn't even know that I should have probably learned. But I'm glad that I did, and it educated me to, think outside the box and to learn about the whole world of politics, even though I'm not really, what's the word? I'm not really, that was not my forte. That was not my expertise per se, but I did it, you know what I mean? And I talked about it. And then I got a lot of, feedbacks about towards different people about the politics and what their point of view was and my point of view. And we may not agree with some of it, but it was good to get other people's different perspective when it came to that. And it was fun. I have to say, it was very fun. It was very engaging. A lot of people were like, saying crazy things, but I liked it, to be honest with you. I like that people went bold and went, I would kind of like the deep end, a little bit unhinged, but that's their point of view. You know what I mean? As long as we're not going crazy or trying to go after people or kill anyone, people can express how they want to express, as long as there's no violence involved in this. But the point of the matter is that, I talked about that. I talked about culture. I talked about relationships, things that's going on in the world, things that I'm very passionate about, that I really wanted to vocalize and talk about, and to report as well. And there's times, I'm not going to get it right all the time. There's times that I'm going to mispronounce names that clearly I should learn the names and learn to pronounce the names, especially if I'm going to report it and talk about it. Absolutely. I'm not, downplaying it and saying that I shouldn't. I should. And there's times that I'm going to, say it wrong, even though I practice a million thousand times. And every time when I practice it in my closet, and then it sounds right and I pronounce it right. And then when I'm in front of the camera, and as soon as I say the word, it's a stumble block. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just nerves, or I'm just nervous, or the words just came out wrong, and I wanted to say it, but my brain is telling me something else, and my mouth is telling me something different. It happens all the time. With that being said, I'm always going to do my absolute best to get the names right when I'm reporting. You know what I mean? Because it's super important to do that. It's super important to fact check, to make sure you get all your information right. So once I do get the information right, that I can report it to you guys. And thank God I have thick skin, that, when people name call me saying that I'm an idiot, or I'm dumb, or I'm stupid, I'm like, okay, because I mispronounced the name. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Again, I'm going to get it wrong sometimes. However, I'm going to correct myself, because that's the most important thing, to correct myself and to be aware of it. And I'm always open for anyone's feedback. You know what I mean? Saying, oh, sure, you got this wrong, or sure, that's incorrect. And I go back and double check. And if it was wrong, then I admit to it. Listen, I was wrong. I apologize, and I move on. It makes no sense to go back and forth and argue with someone unless they got it wrong and I got it right, and then we can debate about it, obviously. But for me, the name calling is just really unnecessary, to be honest with you, because I know myself. I know my self-worth. I know that I'm very smart and intelligent and witty, and I can think outside the box. I think really quick on my feet. And everyone is different. Everyone is different and unique. Everyone has a different skill set. Everyone has different characteristic, you know, about them. Everyone is not the same. Obviously, if everyone was the same, then the world would be a boring place. Everyone has a unique talent. Okay. And for someone to call somebody stupid, dumb, you're an idiot, that's just really ignorant on their part. It doesn't really hurt my feelings, because I sleep great at night. I know who I am. I know what God tells me all the time, that I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm witty. There's things that I'm going to mispronounce incorrectly, but you best believe that I'm going to practice every single day and get it right and pronounce it right. But it doesn't make me dumb. It doesn't make me stupid. It doesn't make me that I don't have a brain or I'm not intelligent. Okay. And that's the thing. And when people say that about me, I just laugh. I just laugh, and I just like, this person's just crazy. You know what I mean? And just like, they have nothing better to do. Like, you can comment on things and tell the person, hey, by the way, this is how you pronounce so and so. This is how you pronounce this. You know what I mean? Instead of the name calling. I feel like, in my opinion, the name calling is unnecessary. But again, I have thick skin. The name calling doesn't bother me, because I know who I am. God knows who I am, and that's all that matters. The most thing that matters to me is like getting it right, and obviously be corrected of anything that I say or pronounce, and then I will make sure the next time I will get it right. Now, there's times that I'm going to say the name wrong in some of my videos, and I apologize for that. It's not like I'm doing it on purpose or just to hurt anyone or disrespect anyone. I definitely don't want to disrespect anybody when I'm talking about or reporting about something, especially, the disappearance of let me just say Sudishka. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Sudishka. I don't want to like, not say, but mispronounce her name incorrectly. Okay. This young college student been missing for months, and I still think about her. I still pray for her and her family. I still pray that, that someone will find her, even though this is a cold case and this happened, in March. And I definitely don't want to, mispronounce her name. Obviously, she is worth her name being pronounced correctly, you know. And like I said, and I said it in my past video, if I mispronounce her name, I apologize. And there's times that I'm going to get it wrong. There's times I'm going to mispronounce things, but I'm going to keep on, making sure that I pronounce it correctly, and making sure that anything I report that it's done correctly, because I just don't want to get it wrong or mess anything up and hurt or offend anyone on that matter. So that's the whole point of discussing about this, and about doing this YouTube channel. I don't know where it's going to lie. I don't know where my YouTube channel is going. I have no idea. I just like doing this and having fun and getting outside of my comfort zone and doing this, because if you would have told me 10 years ago that I'd be doing this now, I would have said, you lost your mind, you're crazy. I would have said never. Okay? Never. With a capital Never. Never would have done this. Never in a million years that I would be in front of the camera, hit record, and start talking in front of the camera. And along that, posting it on YouTube so the whole world can see this. Okay? Even though I deleted it, let's say I deleted all the videos that I've done in the past. It's still out there. You get what I'm saying? It's like when people take like nude pictures and post it on the internet, like OnlyFans. It's there. Doesn't matter if you erase it on your phone. Doesn't matter if you erase it in the data. It's still out there for other world to see. You get what I'm saying? So I knew what I was getting myself into. It was just the fact that I was scared. I was not confident enough. And on top of that, I feel like I was not beautiful or pretty enough to be in front of the cameras, because I outside looking in, I see a bunch of beautiful, amazing people that are doing podcasts and doing videos, and they're so beautiful and so intelligent. And there's times I get insecure about myself, that I'm not beautiful, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not worthy to be in front of the camera and record and put it on YouTube. I had all those doubts, in the beginning. And then when I pray to God and ask God, give me wisdom, give me clarity, give me knowledge, and give me the confidence that I can do this. And I prayed on it, and He did. Especially when I was at the lowest point in my life, that my husband and I was heading for divorce, because we were not in a good place in our marriage. We were in a dark place in our marriage. And that was the whole point of me doing this YouTube channel, just to escape, if that makes sense, escape from the problems that I was having with my marriage, and just to do something different and outside of the box. And that was the whole point of doing this. And luckily, thank God, because God was in the center of our marriage, and He helped our marriage to get through this, and also counseling as well, that my husband and I, our marriage is rock solid now, and it's great. All the glory and praise go to God. Not saying that we don't have trouble in our marriage, meaning like we don't have like any disagreements and stuff, like we do. Obviously, marriage is just a work in progress. Marriage is a lot of work, a lot of communication, and trust, and everything that goes along with marriage. With that being said, I thank God for that. I thank my friends and my family for their support as well, praying for us, hoping, praying that our marriage will get better, which it has been, and I'm grateful for that. And my husband and I are trying to get pregnant as well, which I did share in a few of my past videos as well. So the whole point of this video is just my journey of my YouTube channel, how I grew so much from doing this, and how I am now. I was just nervous, shy, didn't know what to expect, how people were going to react to all the videos that I have done. And if you look at my past videos, some of them were just good, some of them were bad. I could say bad. Some of them was ridiculous, because again, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea which direction to go to when it comes to the YouTube channel. And I pivot a lot. I pivot so much that I didn't know what to do. And then I started to see what was happening in the world, like I said, and things that I wanted to address, things that I wanted to talk about that was very dear and passionate in my heart, and just give my perspective about this. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to do that. And I'm still learning as I go. I'm still, thinking outside the box and being creative, and see where this journey takes me. And I am so grateful and thankful for this, and for you guys for, listening and hearing what I have to say, and posting comments and liking my videos and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for God giving me this opportunity to do this and do something that I really love, and still loving doing this, and very passionate about this, and continue to talk about more issues that's going on in the world. Now, it may make people feel uncomfortable because I'm talking about, you know, what's going on in the war with Israel and Gaza and stuff like that. Things that people don't want to talk about, things that people don't want to address. But I'm all for it. You know what I mean? As long as I have an opinion about it and I want to address it and talk about it, I want to talk about it. Anything, everything is it's non. I wouldn't say non-negotiable, but anything that I want to talk about, it's out there. It's open. You know what I mean? When it comes to relationships, when it comes to politics, when it comes to the government, when it comes to a vaccination, anything is I'm open for a discussion or a debate. And that's the whole thing that I like about this is doing a video content and just addressing awareness as well. And yeah, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. That's it. And I will see you guys on Monday.